Hello everyone, this is Dr. Rakshita Shanbag. Today in JT Kent Keynotes, we will study the seventh remedy, that is Agaricus muscarius. So as you can see in the picture, Agaricus muscarius is a mushroom type which is used for the preparation of homeopathic remedy. So the main general symptoms what Kent says is, so in this remedy it acts mainly on the spine and the nerves. So the symptoms will be more of twitching, trembling, jerking of the muscles anywhere on the body. There is trembling of the limbs, quivering and tremors everywhere, sensation of creeping and crawling sensation will be present. So it is hardly confined to the skin. It is felt as if in the flesh, a sensation as if of ants. So it's not on the surface but within. The patient will explain the surface of the sensation of as if the ants crawling inside. There is itching of the skin all over which changes place from scratching. Cold sensations present. So sensations of cold needles and of hot needles. So stinging and burning sensation is present where the circulation is feeble, as you see in frostbites and the chilblains. So extremely nervous and sensitive to cold. There is sensation which come on from mental exertion and it is relieved by physical exertion. This is something which is characteristic. Here aggravation of all the complaints will be especially the symptoms of the spinal cord, as you find twitching, jerking and all. So this is aggravated after sexual intercourse. So the complaints are seen in young, nervous married women after coition. Hysterical fainting after coition is seen. So in the mind symptoms, Kent says agaricus has more great changeability in the moods. There is irritability, mental depression, and ailments especially from overexertion of mind and prolonged study. The whole psychological sphere as if paralyzed. Kent explains the mind sphere of agaricus as if paralyzed. So children are late in learning to talk and walk. That means there is slow developing mind. So here he compares with two remedies, natrum mur which has late learning to talk and calcarea carb which has late learning to walk. That is mainly because of bone weakness. There are nervous girls prior to puberty have convulsions from being scolded, from excitement and shock. They are very forgetful, makes mistakes and they are very slow in learning. Mistakes in writing and spellings. Wrong words float in kaleidoscopically. Sluggish, stupid and delirious. So they have lot of delirium also present. So in delirium, as if they are intoxicated by alcohol. As you can see the drunkards, the behavior of drunkards you can remember here. They become silly, say foolish things, silly things, sing and whistle at an inappropriate time, and there is makes verses and prophecies, or he lapses into an opposite state like indifference. Either he will keep on singing and making foolish comments and all, or he may be indifferent. Mild and placid becomes self-willed, obstinate and conceited. This is the delirium state you find in agaricus. There is incoordination of brain and spinal cord. So when there is incoordination, so there will be difficulty in coordinating the movements of the muscles of the body. Clumsy motion of the fingers and hands will be there, and drops things on handling. Fingers will fly open spasmodically while holding the things. Here he gives one example where he says, you will sometimes cure a woman in the kitchen with agaricus or apis when the trouble is that she is continually breaking the dishes by letting them fall. That is the awkwardness you see in the fingers and hands. It can be either agaricus or apis. Agaricus must stay near the fire, while apis, she wants to get out of the kitchen. So these are the differentiating points. When he gives agaricus and apis will both have awkwardness in hands, he gave the differentiating points as agaricus needs fire, needs hot, but the apis runs away from the heatness. At times he is stupid, awkward, and clumsy, and at other times he is very quick, poetical, especially at night. Mental symptoms are worse in the morning and are relieved towards evening. Vertigo and confusion of mind are seen, which are mixed up. On undertaking to do something, he does the opposite. If he wants to do something and is writing something, he will do it in an opposite way. Vertigo when walking in the open air. Vertigo when walking in the open air. And in the head symptoms, as you can see, eyes, I have put the picture. So overall you get the similar symptoms here. The headache with spinal symptoms will be present with quivering and jerking of the muscles. Pain as though the sharp eyes is touched the head or as if from cold needles. Pain as if from a nail. In scalp, initially he has itching without eruption. He scratches and then the sensation of coldness will begin. Icy coldness sensation in the part or as if the wind was blowing on it. Cold wind was blowing on it. Aggravation in the morning or rising. Headache is in constant motion as in chorea. So head is present in constant motion as in chorea. Then eczema is seen with crusts in the scalp. Coming to eyes, he gives, here also you will find twitching and jerking of the muscles. As I said, the general symptom, twitching and jerking of muscles will come in every part of the body. So in eyes also there is twitching and jerking. He compares here with cicuta, R sulfur and pulsatilla. So he says, as the patient looks at you, there is pendulum like action of the eyes. They go back and forth all the time. They oscillate, though he tries his best to fix his look on you. So there is continuous movement. So this is called nystagmus. All the motions subside during sleep. So all these twitching motion, jerking motions will subside during the sleep. There is deception in colors, in vision, and he has double vision. Flickering occurs before eyes with difficulty in reading. Black flies or mist or cobweb sensation will be present before the eyes. And muscular weakness of the eyes is seen. Coming to ears, there is a symptom just like frostbitten. So in frostbitten, what happens when there is cold, when the part is being continuously in the cold atmosphere, so that the circulation will become feeble and that area will have redness, burning, itching sensation present. So same symptoms you find even in the ears, itching, tingling sensation, and hearing will become very acute. That means there is dullness and deafness present. And there is, in the morning he is dumb, sluggish, stupid and tired, but when evening comes he brightens up, becomes warmed up, becomes excited, poetical, prophetical, wants to sit up late at night, is brilliant and wants to play games. So in the evening he becomes very active, but in the morning he will be very dumb. So in nose he has nosebleed, then profuse fetid discharge will be present, chronic catarrhs with dryness and crusts in tubercular constitutions. There is red nose as if frostbitten. So red nose, red tip nose, if you remember, even Rustox as well as Ledampal and Lekesis also comes. So where he gives Ledampal and Lekesis has red tipped nose in old drunkards. So in face also there is twitching, itching, redness, burning, paralytic weakness present, choric spasms are present, expression as of idiocy, and if you put some new idea before them, something not in the routine of their work, they are perfectly idiotic. Like, so only the routine work they do it very well. So anything new given to them, so they will feel they will act like a idiot, like they don't understand the things. He can't take in anything new in the morning, but he is able to take in new ideas and is bright in the evening. That is the difference. So this first sentence, if you remember, Baraita Carb also has this. So where they are routinist. So only the routine work they do it very perfectly. Any new ideas they won't be able to accomplish it. So here the difference is agaricus. In the morning time, if you give them some new things, they won't be able to take it. But in the evening, actively they will participate and they will be able to understand the things. Like the effect produced by tea and coffee and alcoholic beverages. Great antidote to the alcoholic beverages. Agaricus is said to be as great antidote to alcoholic beverages. So agaricus and zincum has spinal affections and both have aggravation from the stimulants and has cured many cases of epileptiform convulsions, more commonly the hysteroepileptic type with frothing of the mouth, opisthotonus, and drawing of the muscles of the face. It is used even when a little muscle of the face or few fibers of the muscle quiver for few minutes and then stop. So that is the twitching and jerking of the muscles you find every time, whether it is a single muscle or a group of muscles. So in mouth, the tongue will twitch here, jerks and causes disordered speech. There is inarticulate speech, and you can also find the phagedenic ulcers of the tongue, frenum of the tongue, and eats it away. That means the ulcer will cover the almost whole of the tongue. And mercurial apathy is seen in the roof of the mouth. Little white blisters like nursing sore mouth. And in stomach there is burning thirst, ravenous appetite, gnawing in the stomach as if from hunger, without desire for food. So in abdomen also there is trembling, jerking, paralytic weakness, and everything ferments with rumbling and loud rolling and pinching, colic. There is distressing belching, great tympanitis. That means tympanitis is accumulated with gas, and there is offensive flatulence, morning diarrhea with hot flatus burning in the rectum, which is seen even in apis. Urging to stool is violent. Involuntary straining before, during, and after stool. There is sensation as if the rectum would burst even after the stool. So here GIT symptoms are also important in agaricus. So where you find the sensation as if it would burst even after stool. So Merxol and sulfur also has this symptom. So before stool he has a symptom of cutting pain, pinching pain in the abdomen, urgent tenesmus and painful straining. During stool, there is colic and passing of the flatus, burning, soreness, smarting and cutting in the anus. There is excessive sweat, pain in the loins to legs, and even after stool, this pain continues. So after stool, the headache, if the patient had, will get relieved, and cutting pains will remain in the anus. So there is straining in the rectum, distension in the abdomen, heaviness in the abdomen and around the navel with pain in the chest. There is tenesmus after stool. The stool is so hard that he strains at stool as if the life depended on it, and yet there is no stool. So this is the extent of the constipation he gives. So in urine, Kent says there is desire to urinate as urgent as the desire for stool. So as you find the urgency in passing the stool, similarly there is urgency even in passing urine. Urine passes slowly in a stream or in drops, has to press to promote the flow. The urine is watery, clear, lemon colored and bright yellow. It can be even dark yellow and hot. So where argentum nitricum is compared, so where there is coldness on passing the urine in argentum nitricum, and in agaricus you have hot feeling while passing urine. Red, flocculent, powdery sediment is observed, and watery in the forenoon. In the afternoon, it becomes milky like whey with red or white sediment. There is iridizing on the surface, that is, oily surface, grease like pellicle will be present on the urine like the petroleum. There is scanty urine in rheumatic, gouty, hysterical subjects, and when urine is scanty, the headache comes on. This is again a PQRS symptom you have to remember in agaricus. So the urine, whenever the urine becomes scanty, the headache starts, and this is followed by constipation. Then the headache is relieved by stool, by passing stools. So here he compares with fluoric acid. So in fluoric acid, if he does not attend to desire to urinate, the headache will come on. So it's not related to the scanty flow or the profuse flow. It depends on the urgency. So if he has the urge to pass this urine in fluoric acid, he has to immediately pass, or else the headache will start. So in genitals, he gives there is metastasis, especially if milk ceases, the complaints will come on. So milk ceases in one day, but congestion of the brain and or the spine will come on. So lactation, if it is stopped, then immediately there will be congestion of the spine or the brain. So the genital organs will become very cold and shrunken. Worse after coition, whether it is male or female, after sexual excitement and after debauch. So in males, because of the excessive sexual activity, there will be weakness, there will be trembling and twitching, because the sexual functions are related to the spinal cord, and burning in the urethra, hot feeling of the seminal fluid while passing or while ejaculating, burning in prostate during ejaculation. Violent sexual excitement will be present, but no pleasure at the time of ejaculation and no orgasm. The penis becomes cold and shrunken with excessive painful retraction in the testis. In old gleat, there is continuous itching present in the genital area in males, and last drop of discharge will remain. This discharge keeps on discharging for a long time, so which is seen in petroleum as well as in agaricus itself. So in females, because of excessive sexual activity, there is dragging down sensation with spinal irritation, etc., as if the parts would drop into the world. This is the statement given by Kent. So expression of the bearing down sensation, the patient will express in this way. The routine prescriber always thinks to give pulsatilla, sepia, etc., for bearing down pains in the female, as we know. So here he says this agaricus is suited to slender, nervous, restless women with tingling and creeping sensation. All the general symptoms are worse during the menstrual period, and not to any great extent before or after. That means it's not much aggravated before menses or after menses, but during the menstrual period she has most of the complaints. And during menses, there can be headache, toothache, heart symptoms, prolapse, etc. Leukorrhea is present, which is very profuse, dark, bloody, acrid, excoriating in parts. So here he again compares with fluoric acid, where he says again there is copiousness and acridity of the leukorrhea in fluoric acid, that the parts are raw and irritated around the genitals. So here fluoric acid patient can't walk because of that acridity. And headache is better by passing urine, or headache if urination is not immediately attended to with copious acrid excoriating leukorrhea. This is the symptom present in the fluoric acid. Coming to chest symptoms, he gives some symptoms where there is catarrhal condition of the chest with night sweats and history of nervous symptoms. Violent cough is present in isolated attacks ending in sneezing. Expectoration of pus-like mucus, worse in the morning and when lying on the back. Convulsive cough is present, and he gives a statement where there is it closely relates to the tubercular diathesis. This is even the Herring's observation, so he wanted to clarify that point, so he also proved the remedy. So he says when he was proving tuberculum on a person, he became emaciated and looked as if he would die. Then he watched and waited patiently until he developed the symptoms of agaricus. Thus, he confirmed the Herring's observation. Agaricus then cured him and fattened him. So, in the heart symptoms, there is nervous palpitation, aggravation in the evening, shocks and thrills in the heart, aggravation from sudden noise, from eructations on coughing when lying on the left side or back at night and during fever. Shocks when extend to other parts as to abdomen or back or limbs. Outer chest has tingling and creeping sensation. So as you can see here in the back, there is stiffness present in the whole spine. So agaricus is very good for the stiffness of the whole spine. It feels as if it would break when he attempts to bend. This is the sensation he gives. Feels as if something is so tight that it will break when he stoops. Tightness in the muscles of the back. Tingling present in deep inside the spine. Violent shooting, burning pains along the spine which is aggravated by stooping. Pains go up and down the spine. There is sensitiveness of spine to touch, especially back of the neck and between the scapula. Sensitiveness to a hot sponge in the lumbar region in the spinal irritation. There is sensation as if cold air were spreading along the back like an aura epileptica. Cold spots are present, chilliness over the back, crowling sensation, creeping, formication sensation is seen in the agaricus. Pains in the back of the neck and lumbosacral region are aggravated from coition during exertion, sitting, etc. Pain in the sacrum feels as if beaten, as if it would break. Pains below the waist in woman. So in extremities, as we know, there is twitching, numbness, colic, burning here and there, cold feelings in spots, paralyzed sensation will be present, trembling in the limbs and in the hands, awkwardness of all the movements. Then there is burning and itching of the hands as if frozen. In the smaller joints where the circulation is feeble, there are frostbite symptoms. As I said, frostbite symptoms will have burning and itching sensation. Bones feel as if they would break during rest, especially in the lower limbs, feeling as if the tibia would break, growing pains in the children, and they must sit at the fire or the extremities will get cold. There is pain in the lower limbs, aching, stitching, tearing, which is better from warmth and from motion. Paralytic weakness in the lower limbs soon after becoming pregnant. This becomes this comes with very pregnancy, and she must go to bed. So there is a heaviness feeling in the legs, weight in the legs, trembling and jerking of motion of the lower limbs. So this is about the agaricus. So you need to remember in agaricus is the twitching jerking of the muscles. Mainly it acts on the brain and the spinal cord. So the of course the symptoms of females and males. So hope it has helped you. Thank you.